Bro, let me tell you something most men don't get. Something that flies right over their heads. There are women out there who genuinely want you. I'm talking about women who think about you more than they admit, who fantasize about being close to you, who light up inside when your name pops up on their phone screen. But here's the catch, they'll rarely ever say it, at least not out loud, and definitely not first. They'll give you just enough to stay curious. She'll flirt a little, laugh a little longer at your jokes, maybe even text you something that makes your heart race, then suddenly go cold the next day like it never happened. She'll watch your stories, toss you a compliment here and there, maybe even ask subtle questions to stay connected, but when it comes to anything real, anything vulnerable, she shuts down, she stays guarded, and you're left wondering, does she actually like me, or is she just playing games? You go back through the conversations, searching for signs, trying to figure out what changed. Here's the truth most guys never hear. She does want you. She just won't admit it until she feels something from you. Not pressure, not convincing words, and definitely not desperation. What she's waiting for is presence, a steady, calm, grounded energy that makes her feel both safe and intrigued. It's not about being perfect, it's about being real. When she senses that you're not chasing, not needing, but simply showing up as your full self with confidence and quiet strength, that's when her guard starts to drop. That's when she stops testing and starts feeling. Point one, she's not cold, she's guarded, and there's a difference that most men miss. When a woman starts to pull away, many guys instantly assume she's lost interest or that she's talking to someone else. But often, her distance isn't disinterest. It's self-protection. She's not being cold, she's being careful. A lot of women carry emotional scars from times they were vulnerable and got hurt, misled, or left hanging. So even when she feels something real, something promising, her instincts tell her to pause, to protect her heart before diving in again. That hesitation you feel, the late replies, the sudden shift in energy, isn't her closing the door. It's her quietly asking, "Can I trust this? Can I trust him?" And this is the moment where most guys go wrong. They react, they panic, over-explain, and start chasing, trying to prove they're different, trying to fix the vibe or earn her reassurance. But that only confirms her fears, making her even more cautious. What truly captures her attention isn't more effort, it's presence. It's your ability to remain grounded, unbothered, and calm in the face of her hesitation. When she sees that you're not emotionally shaken by her mood shifts, not desperate for validation, and not trying to force anything, she starts to feel safe. And when a woman feels safe, she begins to open. It's your steady energy, not your words, that makes her lean in. So no, she's not cold. She's just been through enough to know that trust isn't given, it's earned. And if you can meet her guarded heart with patience and strength without trying to convince or control, you'll stand out in a way that makes her think twice before pulling away again. Point two, she's watching more than you think. And not just the obvious things, like what you text or how often you reach out. She's watching the subtle stuff. The quiet details, the things you think don't matter actually tell her everything. Most guys don't realize this, but women are incredibly observant, especially when it comes to emotional energy. She notices how you carry yourself when she pulls back. She's paying attention to how you react when she goes quiet, when the replies slow down, or when she disappears for a little while. Do you double text? Do you start overthinking, chasing, spiraling into insecurity? Or do you stay calm, grounded, and in control of your own world? That reaction, how you handle uncertainty, isn't just about the moment. To her, it answers a much bigger question. Can I trust this man with my emotions? Because if you can't hold your own when she creates distance, how will you handle it when real life gets messy? She's not looking for perfection or some kind of robotic detachment. What she's drawn to is emotional stability, a certain quiet strength. She doesn't need you to blow up her phone or prove your interest with dramatic gestures. What gets her attention is that composed, calm presence, the energy that says, "I care, but I'm good either way." That's what makes her curious. That's what stands out. Because in a world full of guys who panic the moment they feel a shift, your ability to remain unshaken sends a powerful message. You're not here to beg for her attention, you're here to share your peace. And trust me, that's the kind of energy that keeps her thinking about you long after the conversation ends. Quick break. Close your eyes for a second. Picture her, the girl you've always wanted. Feel what it would be like to actually have her. Now open your eyes, because here's the truth. Right now, you're invisible to her. You're getting outcompeted by guys with more money, better looks, higher status, and stronger game. You're playing a rigged game, and you're losing. But I've spent the last 35 years mastering this, studying, testing, and finally finding the secrets to get the girls I always wanted. You want to stop getting ignored? You want her chasing you? Then you need to wake up and act. Click the link in the comments if you are truly committed and take the first step toward becoming that guy. Few spots left. Be fast or miss out your last chance to make her yours. Let's get back to it. Point 3. Mystery is more powerful than attention, and that's something most men overlook. You ever notice how sometimes the more attention you give her, the less interested she seems? It's not always about how much you like her, it's about how you're showing up. Attention these days is everywhere. It's easy, it's accessible, and honestly, it's often overdone. But mystery? That's rare. That's what makes someone unforgettable. Women don't fall for the guy who floods their phone with compliments, constantly updates them on every move and explains every thought. They fall for the one who leaves something unspoken, who makes her pause and wonder, what's going on in his world? It's not about playing games or being distant. It's about living fully and not needing to announce it. When your life has depth, when you're focused on your path, your growth, your mission, and you're not handing out unlimited access to every part of your world, that creates tension. And that tension, that's where attraction lives. It's not about ignoring her or being cold. It's about giving her just enough to stay intrigued while holding back enough to keep her curious. When you stop oversharing and start embodying a life with direction, she feels that shift. You're no longer performing for her attention. You've become someone she wants to figure out. Someone who doesn't need to constantly explain himself because his presence already speaks volumes. Let her lean in. Let her work a little to understand you. That space you leave, that's not distance, it's magnetism. Point 4. She matches the energy you give off. This is something a lot of men underestimate, but it's one of the most powerful dynamics in connection, especially with women. Women are natural mirrors. They reflect what you project. If you lead with insecurity, anxiety, or emotional neediness, she will instinctively pull away, not to punish you, but to protect herself. But when you lead with calm, certainty, and quiet confidence, everything shifts. She begins to feel safe. She starts to open up, not because you pushed, but because your energy gave her permission. Think about it. If she goes silent and you remain centered, if your mood isn't swayed by whether she texts back right away or not, if you continue to show up in your purpose, grounded and focused, despite the unknowns, that's deeply attractive. Why? Because it shows strength. It shows emotional maturity. You're not chasing validation. You're not reacting to every little shift in her behavior. You're steady, and that steadiness becomes her comfort. She realizes she can be imperfect around you, moody even, and you won't fall apart or lash out. That's rare in today's world, and that's when the game changes. When she sees that her silence doesn't shake you and her tests don't move you, she stops testing altogether. She begins to respect you in a way that goes deeper than surface attraction. She starts to trust you. She matches your tone. She mirrors your energy. And when your energy is calm, collected, and secure, hers softens. The walls start to come down, not because you asked, but because your presence made it safe to do so. Point 5. You become infinitely more attractive the moment you stop waiting. There's a subtle but powerful shift that happens inside a man when he stops pausing his life for someone else, especially for a woman who may or may not be fully invested yet. It's that moment when you stop waiting for her to respond, to show interest, to make a decision, or to choose you. Women can sense this energy immediately. They know when you're stuck on standby, just sitting around hoping she'll pick you, hoping she'll finally commit, or waiting for some sign that you matter to her. And here's the harsh truth. Being in that waiting mode doesn't draw her closer. Instead, it pushes her away because it broadcasts neediness and lack of self-value. But when you break free from that passive space and start truly living your own life, pursuing your passions, focusing on your health, building your purpose, that's when everything changes. It's not about disappearing or ignoring her. It's about redirecting your attention where it truly belongs, on yourself and your growth. When you do that, she starts to feel your absence, not as rejection, but as a presence shifting elsewhere. That absence creates space, and space breeds curiosity. She starts watching from a distance, wondering what you're up to, how you're evolving, who you're becoming, and if she ever really felt something genuine for you, that space will pull her back. Not to test or manipulate you, but because she senses you're no longer dependent on her for your happiness. That independence, that confidence is what makes you irresistible. It's magnetic. It's the kind of energy that says, I am whole, with or without you. And that realization in her mind is what flips the dynamic completely. Suddenly, she's the one wondering if she's missing out. Point 6. She needs to feel replaced by purpose, not by another woman. Many guys make the mistake of trying to spark jealousy by bringing other women into the picture, thinking it will make her chase harder or pay more attention. But that tactic rarely works, and when it does, it's only temporary and shallow. True attraction and respect come from something deeper. When she realizes she's no longer the center of your universe, but not because you swapped her out for someone else, because you replaced that space with your mission, your goals, your passion, that hits differently. It stings, but in a way that commands respect. She starts to feel your absence, but not as a punishment or a game. Instead, she senses your growth, your evolution. You're not making her feel small or insecure. You're showing her that you're leveling up. You're focused on becoming a better man, independent of her presence or validation. That kind of confidence and purpose is magnetic, far more powerful than any petty jealousy or mind games. It's a signal that you're someone who's not afraid to prioritize himself, and that makes her want to be a part of your journey, not just your distraction. Point 7. She opens up when you remain completely unfazed by her storms. Women are naturally emotional creatures, and sometimes, whether consciously or unconsciously, they create chaos to test your strength and commitment. This isn't about manipulation. It's about seeing if you can hold space for them in their most vulnerable, messy moments. She might suddenly ignore your messages, act moody for no clear reason, withdraw emotionally, or push you away just to see how you respond. These storms can feel confusing or even frustrating, but what truly matters is your reaction. Most men either explode with anger, frustration, or insecurity, or they retreat and disappear, unable to handle the intensity. But when you stay calm, kind, and centered, when you meet her emotional turbulence with patience and unwavering composure, that's when she starts to take notice in a profound way. Your ability to stay grounded sends a powerful message. I'm here. I'm not going anywhere. You don't have to be perfect for me to accept you. That kind of emotional consistency creates a rare and precious kind of trust. It tells her that maybe, just maybe, she can fully open up without fear of judgment or rejection. It's not about being perfect, it's about showing up authentically and steadily, no matter what storms arise. When she realizes you can handle her at her worst without flinching, that's when her walls start to crumble. She begins to let down her defenses and invite you into her true self. And from that place, real connection and intimacy begin to blossom. Point 8. She doesn't need answers. She needs to feel your certainty. In relationships, too many men fall into the trap of over-explaining, over-asking, or trying to pin down every detail about where things are headed. But what she truly craves isn't a detailed roadmap or constant reassurance. It's the deep, unshakable confidence that you already know who you are with or without her. This kind of certainty is magnetic because it creates a sense of emotional safety that allows her to relax and let her guard down. When you carry yourself with that quiet assurance, Knowing your worth and your path, she doesn't feel the need to question or doubt. She doesn't want you to spell everything out or ask for clarity at every turn. Instead, she wants to feel like she's standing beside a man who isn't lost, someone steady and grounded no matter what happens. That presence speaks louder than words ever could, and when she senses that kind of certainty radiating from you, her feelings start to catch up with her thoughts. She won't just want you, she'll need to be near you, drawn to your calm strength and unwavering self-possession. In that space, connection deepens naturally, and the relationship moves from uncertainty to something solid and real. Thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate you being here. If this message resonated with you or gave you something to think about, please hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss what's next. I've got more real talk, growth, and power coming your way, so stay tuned. Also, I offer limited one-on-one coaching for anyone struggling with girls. If that's you, feel free to reach out. We can work through it together and get you results. Take care of yourself, keep rising, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.